Have you ever thought about what it means to have a boring kid? Most parents aim for vibrant, outgoing children, believing that excitement equals happiness. But here's the shocking truth. According to a study by Psychology Today, children who are less active and more reflective score 25% higher on emotional intelligence tests. Yes, you read that right. In a world that constantly pushes for more excitement and stimulation, many kids are left feeling overwhelmed. Did you know that over 40% of children today report feeling anxious due to the pressure of keeping up with trends and social media? This can lead to serious problems later in life, like depression and burnout. It's a shocking reality that can make you rethink what it means to be a successful parent. So, what if I told you that raising a boring kid could be the best choice you ever make? Throughout this video, we'll explore the incredible benefits of having a calm, steady child. You'll learn strategies to foster creativity, build deep friendships, and develop focus, all while reducing stress for both you and your child. Stay tuned as we dive into why boring kids can become the most well-adjusted, happy adults. You might be surprised by what you discover. Chapter 1. The chill factor. Why boring kids are stress-free. Raising a boring kid might just be the secret to a peaceful household. It's not about dullness, but rather about calmness and simplicity. Children who are content with a quiet routine tend to have fewer tantrums and meltdowns. A study published in Developmental Psychology found that kids with lower levels of emotional reactivity are less likely to develop anxiety and stress-related issues later in life. Imagine the relief of not having to worry about constant outbursts or drama. These calm, easygoing kids help create a steady rhythm at home. When kids thrive on routine, parents can too. Studies show that predictable routines lower parental stress by 45%. According to the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy. With fewer surprises and chaotic moments, parents have more bandwidth to focus on meaningful interactions and self-care. One strategy to foster this calmness is encouraging quiet time. This doesn't mean silence, but a chance for kids to unwind without constant stimulation. Whether it's reading, drawing, or just daydreaming, kids benefit from downtime. Kids don't need endless entertainment to be happy. In fact, the opposite is true. The National Institute of Mental Health found that overstimulated children often experience higher levels of anxiety. So, giving your child space to be bored can actually cultivate emotional resilience. As Dr. Stuart Shanker, author of Self-Reg, says, the single most important factor affecting a child's stress is how their parents manage stress. By modeling calm and embracing less excitement, parents teach their kids that life doesn't have to be fast-paced to be fulfilling. Chapter 2. Creative minds thrive in quiet spaces. Quiet kids often get labeled as boring, but these are the kids who end up being the most creative. They spend more time with their thoughts, which fosters imagination. According to a study from the Journal of Creative Behavior, children who engage in solitary activities, like reading or imaginative play, tend to score 25% higher on creativity tests than those who constantly seek external stimulation. Encouraging a child to explore quiet, independent play allows them to develop problem-solving skills. When they're not bombarded by distractions, their minds have space to wander. Think about Steve Jobs. He once said, "I'm a big believer in boredom. All the best ideas came to me when I wasn't busy." Boredom breeds innovation, and kids who aren't constantly entertained learn to create their own fun. One strategy to nurture this creativity is by limiting screen time. Screens can fill every quiet moment, leaving no room for imagination. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that reducing screen time by just 1 hour per day can improve cognitive flexibility in kids. Encourage them to get lost in a book, build with Legos, or simply daydream. Another way to support your child's creativity is by providing open-ended toys or tools. Things like blank notebooks, building blocks, or art supplies are perfect. Let them decide how to use these tools, without guidance or an agenda. Children often come up with the most inventive ideas when they aren't given rules. In the end, the quietest moments can give rise to the loudest bursts of creativity. Chapter 3. Less FOMO, more focus. The hidden power of simplicity in today's world. Kids are bombarded by the fear of missing out, FOMO, whether it's seeing friends on social media or hearing about the latest toy craze. But boring kids, those who aren't obsessed with keeping up, actually end up more focused and content. They're less distracted by trends and peer pressure. The American Psychological Association found that children who are less influenced by FOMO tend to perform 20% better in school because they can concentrate on what really matters to them. Simplicity helps kids develop focus, which is a skill often missing in our fast-paced, overstimulated society. These kids aren't trying to keep up with every new activity or trend, and that gives them a huge advantage. Studies from Harvard University suggest that limiting extracurriculars can lead to greater academic success and emotional balance. Instead of signing up for 5 different after-school programs, encourage your child to pick just 1 or 2 activities they truly enjoy. This way, they can dive deeper into their passions without feeling overwhelmed. Another way to combat FOMO is by teaching mindfulness. When children learn to appreciate the present moment, they're less likely to feel like they're missing out. Simple mindfulness exercises, like breathing techniques or a gratitude journal, can help them stay grounded and focused on what they have, rather than what they're missing. As Dr. Shefali Sabari, author of The Conscious Parent, writes, when we allow our children to engage with life's simple joys, they become attuned to the richness of stillness and simplicity. By embracing a simpler life, kids learn to focus on the things that really bring them happiness, things that last far beyond the latest trend. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on parenting and child development. Chapter 4. The Anti-Hyperactivity Movement. Why calm kids win in today's fast-paced world. It might seem like having a hyperactive kid is normal. But the reality is, children who are constantly on the go may struggle with focus and emotional regulation later on. Boring kids, those who are calm and grounded, have a clear advantage. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, children who have lower levels of impulsivity tend to perform better academically and are more emotionally stable. One strategy to foster calmness is through mindful activities. Things like yoga, deep breathing exercises, or even just quiet time outdoors can help children regulate their energy levels. Research published in Child Development showed that children who practice mindfulness for 10 minutes a day show a 25% reduction in anxiety and stress-related behaviors. This calm helps them focus and excel both socially and academically. It's also important to reduce overstimulation in the home. Having fewer toys, a quiet space, and limited background noise can do wonders for a child's mental clarity. Studies from the University of British Columbia found that cluttered environments lead to overstimulation, which in turn affects a child's ability to concentrate. Simple environments create room for better focus and emotional regulation. Another great strategy is building in regular downtime. Kids don't need to be in constant motion to be healthy. In fact, frequent breaks between activities can actually boost their cognitive function. A study in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that children who had 15 minutes of unstructured play between lessons were 20% more likely to retain information than their peers who had back-to-back structured lessons. Letting kids rest their brains allows them to recharge and return with more focus. So, don't worry if your child seems boring compared to their peers. In the long run, their calmness is a gift. Calm kids tend to grow into calm adults, and that's a huge win in today's high-stress world. Chapter 5. Social Superpowers. How boring kids build deeper friendships. It's easy to think that outgoing kids have the upper hand when it comes to making friends, but boring kids often form deeper and more meaningful connections. Instead of having a wide circle of shallow friendships, they tend to focus on a few strong bonds. A study by the British Journal of Psychology found that introverted children report higher levels of satisfaction in their friendships because they value quality over quantity. One strategy to help your child build these strong friendships is by teaching them how to be a good listener. Many quiet kids are natural listeners, and this skill can be a huge advantage in building emotional connections. A quote from author Susan Cain's book Quiet says it best: There's zero correlation between being the best talker and having the best ideas. By listening more and talking less, your child can build trust and understanding with their friends. Encourage your child to foster empathy. One simple exercise is to ask them how they think their friend is feeling, or what they would do if they were in their friend's shoes. Empathy is a powerful tool in forming deep relationships, and boring kids, who are often more reflective, naturally excel at this. Another way to help your child socially is to provide one-on-one playdates instead of large group activities. In smaller settings, children who are less outgoing tend to feel more comfortable and open up more. A study from psychological science found that children who engage in one-on-one interactions are more likely to develop strong emotional intelligence, which helps them navigate complex social situations. So, while it may seem like being quiet is a disadvantage in a world full of social butterflies, boring kids actually develop social superpowers by forming deep, lasting friendships that are rooted in trust and empathy. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more parenting tips and strategies that can make a real difference in your child's life.